Okay, let's get another example here. This is the Aussie New Zealand 60-minute and 15 minutes time frames. So we should be looking here for the 60 for the breach line where it happens, and we are looking at all this area here, okay? It's all this area here. So on this area here, I want you to think, where is the breach line, okay? Where is the big boy breach line, or your overall breach on your trading time frame, which is the 15 minutes? And where are the mini territories and all related to the trade? If you can see it, where you should place your trade and all of that. If you can see it from your trading time frame, you could think of that already in this area also. Okay, so I'm removing the crosshair here. So we can see that we breached below this area. Okay, so this is the immediate breach. But if we were looking from this place here, this would be the guy who started all that movement up there, right? But be careful with this kind of analysis, okay? You want to check this recent breaches on your big boy, because this recent breaches on your big boy are the ones that you should be after, not this one, okay? Because this is too far away for your big boy breach. You're not looking at the overall picture, okay? So this kind of breaches are not the things you are after. You want to see this kind of small breaches here to see if you have some kind of pullback for you to go to the downside or to the long side, okay? In this case, when the market started pulling back, it made all this move up to there. And when it started pulling back, you can see the breach there, okay? It's quite clear, breach. Then it hold here. And even though you don't see any green candle there, you can see that it's holding. And then it pushes higher again, and then it collapses, okay? It's all this area here. So you can see that there's something going on there, okay? Even though it's very difficult for us to gauge the momentum of this, we can see that something happened here that knocked the market even further down, okay? So this one is a breach also. And after that, you also have this kind of breach here, but it's questionable if this is a breach or not, okay? Because it goes lower, but it comes back right after, okay? 1, 2 candles and 1, 2, 3 candles, and it's up there again. So this kind of breach here is, we need to put the question mark. And you can see that the market is having troubles to understand what happened here, okay? Because some are looking at this as a faker, which makes sense, okay? But some are looking at this so as a reversal. So looking at this as a V, okay, like a 100% rest from the seller. And this would be the test for a buy, which works, okay? So there's a confusion here. And again, you have a money spot every time you have this kind of confusion. And you want to understand what is the perspective from your big boy. And your big boy is saying sell, okay? Because all of this, it seems to be a faker down, okay? But if you were looking at this bigger picture from the left on the 60, if you were looking for the big boy of the 60, which is the 4 hours, this would be, if this was for the 4 hours, this would be a buy still, apparently, okay? Maybe the buy is not from here, maybe from here, okay? If we were looking for the overall picture from the 60, but we are not looking at the overall from the 60. And this is really important, what I'm saying here. Because most of the times when we learn this kind of information, we start, okay, like we are on a big boy time frame. Let's look at what the big boy of my big boy has to say. No, forget it. You don't go like that, okay? You need to check what your big boy is saying. And your big boy is saying sell from there, okay? Even though you have more information to the left, doesn't matter. Sell from there. And from this mini picture, you can see that you have a breach there. The first breach is down here, okay? The First breach is from this area here. This breach goes all the way up there and it only stops there. Okay, then it starts doing all of this nonsense here. You have your first 100% rest here, but this is fake because it goes higher. Then another 100% rest, and this test works all to the bottoms, all the way to the bottoms here. Okay, and then the buyer picks up again from this area. Okay, this is the first time it picks up. It picks up, goes all the way to this area here, and what happens? Collapse. Okay? Now I want you to pause the video and think, after this collapse it does, this is the 100% rest all the way to the downs here. After this collapse, how would you read this test? Okay? If you were to read this test with gauging momentum, how would you read, and what would be the best spot to enter this, to a trade to the sell side? Just pause the video and think about this for a moment. Okay, so this one here, you can look at both time frames. Okay, if you have the possibility to look at both time frames, it's not that bad. So you can see that if this was a faker here, you can see that this was actually trying to work out for the buys. Okay, because this seller was not picking up that much strength in the sell, and you can see also that from your trading time frame. That's why the seller eventually came up all the way to the breach. But when he touched the breach, it collapsed hard. Okay, but as it collapsed hard, look at what happened to the last candle here. Big wick on the bottom. All that big wick on the bottom is this big move down and this move up. So this, all of this down here is still a faker. Okay, even though we rested, we had this major rest, this buyer was quite strong to go up there. So entering here would be really risky, because look at the aggression of this buyer still, and look at the perspective from this time frame. Okay, it looks like it's slowly coming down. If you're looking from the daily, it looks that it's slowing down. It's preparing for a buy, not for a sell, right? It looks like it, at least. So until you have this entire move up resting and holding, it would be really hard to get on this sell. Okay, but when you get on this sell down here, you know that eventually it can travel, because you already tested this several times. Tried here, tested here, and now is holding at these areas below, and the buyer is not showing up that much strength. Okay, it's trying and trying, but this time is holding below this last breach to the downside. This one that it tried to breach before, this time it breached. Why there's so much struggle at this area? Because of this guy. Okay, this area here is important, and we can see why, because this buyer blasted up there. But the sell works the same, and even though it has a lot of stuff going on here, it goes down. Okay, so remember, again, I'll just recap this. Remember that you are looking for the 60-15, okay? You are not looking at this from this perspective, okay? This is the 4 hours, breaching above this area. This is the guy who started down here, and this eventually tries to challenge and goes higher and higher. Okay, yeah, you can see that, but you're not trading 4 hours 60. You're trading 60-15. And on the 60-15, your guy is saying sell still. Okay? And everything starts connecting here at this time, at the time frame course, because you need to look at those two time frames. Okay? You don't go to the time frame above, or you will have mass confusion, because you still have distance to cover up until the point that your 4-hour guy will start to mess up with your cell. Okay, so this is really an important topic, and this kind of details are really important to stick with the 2 time frames. Okay, cheers. I hope you like this training grounds videos.